Okay, so now I have a building, but it looks a little bit uninspired. I know it's made out of brick, but how can I possibly be sure? Well, that's when we change the visible style, or visual style, sorry. Go to your 3D view, and at the bottom we can see things like scale, which doesn't matter as much for 3D, as well as the detail level and the visual style. Right now it's something called hidden line, which just means that you can't see anything. I can go to wireframe, and I'm able to see through my building. Hidden line, anything that's enclosed by lines is now a obstructing plane. I can go to shaded, and that shows me the colors of everything I picked. So now I can see that these are brick. See, now I can see individual bricks if I zoom in. If I wanted to see that even better, I could go to a fine level of detail. Doesn't really change much over here. I can go to consistent colors. So that's just a faster way of doing shaded. At least it looks more consistent. I can see the doors. I can even do realistic, where it's actually going to, it looks kind of like meat right now, but it does kind of look a little bit more realistic. These bricks actually have some kind of texture to them. We can actually apply our own textures, which we'll teach you how to do later. Finally, the last one is ray trace. This one may or may not melt your computer, so just give it some time. Ray tracing is just sort of like a quick rendering. I can explain to you in more detail if you're interested, but this is basically what a ray trace would look like. It looks like some kind of fuzzy carpet, but for now, we're just going to be dealing with consistent colors or hidden line, or shaded, basically. I think shaded looks pretty good. That's how we change the visual style. Now, changing view scale. Let's go to level 1. Now, if I'm looking at this, it might look kind of small. These numbers look a little bit small. So what I can do is if I can change the scale. Right now it's 1/8 to 1 foot. You guys see the scale modifier down here? I click on it. So I can change it to whatever scale I want. Usually, I like to do 1 to 20 or 1 to 30. It makes things a little bit more visible. But now, if things are overlapping each other, I need to clean this up because this looks terrible. Do I need these view boxes? If I'm not really using them, not really. So we can hide them in the view. So this is something that we're also going to be doing a lot. If I click on one element, right click, hide in view, and then category, all of my view boxes disappear. I'm going to undo that. But what if I hid all of these elements and then I was like, wait a second, I've done other things. I can't just undo it. Well, I can reveal the hidden elements using a tool that's down here as well. Over here, there's this little light bulb icon, which is called Reveal Hidden Elements, which will temporarily show everything you've hidden. I can bring these things back. I can just say unhide in view category the same way. But I don't like them, so I'm going to hide them. Hide in view category. Okay. Not bad. Now, I can also do the same thing in my elevations. So if I go to the east elevation, this is kind of small. I want to make it a little bit bigger, so I'll do the same 1 to 20. That looks a little bit crowded, but we can just move everything up and out. So I can click on one and drag these upward. Click on these guys, drag them over. I'm just dragging this small circle over here. You can see how it aligns with everything. And then this and this are really close to each other, so I'm going to kick one upward. I'm going to click on this one, and do you see this little squiggly lightning bolt? If I click on that, that creates an elbow, and that elbow I can manipulate. So over here, then I'll just make this one look a little bit better. All right, so that's changing the scale. Now let's add some annotations. So on our grid, on the floor plan level 1, it's kind of hard to see everything, right? I can't really tell where anything is or how far anything is just because I don't see anything. So we're going to use the annotate window, and we're going to place an aligned dimension. So this allows us to draw and keep a dimension between two lines that we have. So it's under annotate, dimension, aligned. And if I click on one grid line to another, and then click in the middle, that creates a dimension that will stay there. Similarly, I can just go from one to the other, to another, to another, and so on and so forth. So I can then just click somewhere in the middle of them, and they all stay. Take some time to play around with this. It can be difficult, but this is essentially how we're going to be annotating our sheets throughout the rest of the semester.